Hey, and welcome back to another EUC Learn Along. What do we got today? Well, we got some Intune. Yeah, yeah, got some ODJ, something. But anyhow, last video we did Flex App 1 and Zen App. We have gotten pretty simple with deploying apps in Citrix and as a published application in Zen App. Um, Don't think it gets any easier than that with FlexApp 1 or MSIX. Um, and I think App B goes into life this year. I think. Anyhow, we're going to move back since I got some more compute and some more RAM in the lab. I can expand it out. I think the next thing I'll probably have to upgrade is put a terabyte drive in here to have these additional VMs. But right now, everything seems to be working out pretty good. So we're building out our I don't know what you'd call it, our enterprise. We want Intune to manage the device, but we want to have a foot in to our AD environment. So we're doing hybrid join. Um, there is stuff out there, but not a whole lot of stuff about hybrid join. And most of the Microsoft MVPs I follow, they don't recommend it. They tell you not to do it. But sometimes you got to do it. All right, so we need to have some components to have a hybrid join environment. Waiting for this to leave. So I've kind of already messed around just to make sure I had everything right. But let's get started. All right, so we need to install this offline domain join connector bootstrapper on a separate server. Run as admin. Yes. All right, let's agree. What are the options? We can just change where it's at. All right, so we'll install. Close that. Yes, I got interconnect server since we're going to be eventually syncing user and computer objects, and I got a Intune certificate connector that we'll be doing SCEP with. All right, so after the install, we just need to configure it. So far, so good. We'll make this big. All right, so reading is very important. I'm not good at that, or at least the comprehending part. Enroll the Intune connector for AD by signing in with a licensed user account that has the global admin or Intune service administrator role assigned to it. All right, so I've done that piece, and note at the bottom, the Intune connector for AD automatically downloads and installs updates. That's great. We're using a bootstrapper. The user that signs in must have a Intune license installed. Great. Very important. And it's gone. Great. So I have all those requirements. I have a Intune license assigned, and I'm going to use my global admin. All right, so we'll sign in. Yep. This is our brand new tenant. So I got some days, months to work in. Do I have? I do. I know my password. Got my mobile app. So far, so good. And again, if you're building this out, you probably need to have Intune connector for AD successfully enrolled. Awesome. No failures. A managed service account with the name such and such was successfully set up. All right, so we got a service account that was set up. So to go back to what I was saying, when setting this up, you might want to have two. services failover. You got multiple data centers, all that good jazz. But you can have this set up for DR or high availability, whatever the term is. All right, so let's look at what we can do. Probably should skip ahead. So if we go to program files and go to Intune, connector, and then this enrollment wizard, scroll down a bit, we got this config file right here. If we click on it, gives us a example, and then it gives us an example value. So they got two OUs. They got this one separated by a semicolon, and then they have another one. If we place our own values in here, we can have this um, service account manage these additional OUs. But by default, it's going to work in the default computer container. All right, so we're not going to mess with this. We're going to leave it as is. Um, and then once you set that up, that file, you can just hit configure manage the service account. There we go. All right, let's go to our DC. Let's see what's going on over here. Fun stuff. Cancel. Let me go ahead and delete this. All right, so we got a little folder, managed service account. We got our service account that was created. Since it was already here, I'm using the same server. I put it in the description. Again, if you did everything from scratch, which I didn't, I'm reusing what I had, but just walking you through the install. You can add your own description here to kind of manage what this service account is doing and what it's tied to. Because I don't think it ties any name to it. Is there any server names in here? Nope. 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 A lot of time, but no server name. Let's see a SID. Nothing. So make sure you got a good description. And again, let's look at this default folder that things get dropped in when we join the domain. Default container, upgraded computer accounts, okay. Go to security. So we got that service account. It's got special permissions. Go to advanced. It's allowed to create computer objects in this object only. All right, so if we go anywhere else, we don't have that. Not there. All right, so I did create some hybrid stuff. Eventually I'll get there testing and doing all kinds of stuff, but it's the simplified setup for Intune connector and some basic need to knows. All right, if we go back, here's one more need to know. When troubleshooting, you have issues with using Intune, especially the autopilot portion. To join the domain, we can go to Event Viewer and look at logs. Here we go. Should be 2 logs, maybe it's just 1. I can't remember. Take your time. So we got offline domain join, connector service, and then under Microsoft Intune, We got the admin and ops. Great. So we can check here if there's any issues with the PC. So yes, I've already got a computer imported for autopilot. I got a couple configuration policies. Got our offline domain join, which we're going to use for a hybrid environment. Pretty straightforward. With hybrid, you can do a prefix. Got the domain organizational unit, full path OU, computer counts are created in. We don't have any custom ones. If not, it would just go in the known computer object. So that's what we're using. We're leaving it blank. Um, so there is a limitation with name. With the name, I think it's 15 characters. So yeah, anything after that prefix will be a random string of numbers and letters. Turning off firewall. Um, so I did have an issue with the user enrollment piece. So I went ahead and disabled it. Not really trying to work that out yet, but it will skip that piece. If you're running um, a hybrid join environment, I do see a lot of information out there to disable that. But if you disable it, when a user goes to log into that machine, they skip out on the user enrollment piece, and well, not the user. Is it the user enrollment piece? Anyhow, the user setup piece. So when they go to log in, they log in fine, creates their local account on the PC. But when they go to launch Edge or any other 365 app, they're prompted for licensing and a few other things. Nothing crazy. User can figure it out. They're pretty smart. But with this piece here, if we left it, when they sign in, they got that additional splash screen for the user account setup. But when they go to launch the 365 apps, they just work right out the box. So when they open Edge, profile's already signed in, everything's good. OneDrive, you got the policy for all that to log in. Outlook just streamlines a lot of things, but you do have to wait for it to finish. If you don't have a lot of user apps and all that assigned, it should be pretty quick. But yeah, but if you disable it and intra join, it's no big deal. All those apps work as intended, but hybrid join, just again, might want to leave that in. Do we have anything else? We don't have any compliance policies. So we got everything set up for autopilot using a hybrid join. Deployment profile. We've seen how to do that in videos that are probably a year or two old. Intune connector. Here we go. So this is kind of messy. The latest one is this one right here. This one right here will eventually go to error state. And after a while, these errored ones will get removed. So no big deal. I've done this 4 times now. But yes. So now we got a Intune connector. Main piece we're looking at. Anything else? Enrollment status page. That's all set up. We know how to do that. Yeah, I think that is it. So let's see if everything works. Oh, I do have some platform scripts. All right, so again, my lab isn't fully set up for a lot of this, so I had to do some jankiness. So I do have a script in here to do some DNS work. That way, when the machine is provisioned, it can talk to um, my domain network. So I got that pointed to our DC, and then I created a local admin account. If something fails, I can log in. But those are the only other things I got set up. All right, so let's log in. Oh, I clicked it and it kind of went away. What's going on? There we go. So we'll just EC learn along at eclearnalong.onmicrosoft.com. That looks right. And again, you probably would want to log in with your. Let's do it the right way. Let's go back. Let's go back. So I do have an on-prem user account, and I do have Intune Connect set up, but we haven't seen that yet. But this will work. You can enroll it with a different account and have it sign in with another account that's on-prem. But we'll just do it the way you're supposed to. Let's do Citrix hybrid user at euclearnalong.onmicrosoft.com. And I don't have the all that stuff configured to match my lab. Next. Oh my god. There we go. I need to turn on a light in here. Can't see. But we'll sign in with the one Microsoft account, and then we'll sign in with the AD object, and then hopefully it should all work. I just added in the set DNS script. And you do not need the intraconnect piece for all this to work. But I do have it set up, messing around with that. Need to work on the what's it called? I don't know what it's called. Routable domain name. I think that's what Microsoft. So I'm looking at that documentation. Instead of using a .local, be a .com. All right, so this should go pretty quick, anywhere from maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. It should do its thing. If we go back to our domain, we can probably kind of watch this. Keep an eye on that. Take it out of that view. And maybe we can look at the events. Still doing its thing. Nothing here. I think it's all going to be under Microsoft Intune. So we're just going to give it a bit. We're going to settle down. Very excited to see if my DNS script works. If it works, I get to bypass a lot of infrastructure changes. this thing. We got 2 in there. Let's refresh. Oh, how many we got now? We got 3. We got 3. Oh, working. Computer name suffix 9. Oh my god. Oh, it's doing this thing. Oh. All right, so it's done the offline domain join. It's rebooted. Now it should kick off the enrollment piece. ESP, enrollment status page. All right, this was intra. It just go right to it. No need for all that additional work. I do have one app pushing out the what are we pushing out? Company portal. That way I can do some more testing. It's highly recommended that you get that. All right. No devices yet, but it's coming. You do your thing, boo boo. Pray that my script does what I think it does. If it doesn't, I'll look like a fool. Now let's pass the time by closing these up. Don't even need a net scaler going. I can shut you down. Power shut down. I don't need you either. Excuse me. Come on. Come on, baby. We got 3 in there. Is it doing any more? Nope, just 3. Choosing that service account. Doesn't give you the name. But that's okay. Any operational ones? Oh, there is. No request. Oh, these are full. All right, come on. Come on, baby. Hybrid is a lot slower. There we go. Send the one app. Counts it up. That's what it was called. Okay. Hopefully, again, praying my script has done its piece. Otherwise, I'm gonna look foolish. All right, so let's try to log in. Oh, look at that! Yeah, boy. So we're gonna log in with that same account again. Created a user. Oh my god! Again, they're on-prem. They are synced. No big deal. And let's make it big again. What was it? Citrix user. Citrix hybrid user. It looks like it's working. Oh man, my script. I'm so proud of myself. All right, so if we didn't disable the enrollment status page for the account setup, it would be going through that, and then it would point out those key differences of logging into the Microsoft applications. But we are hybrid joined. We got a AD object. We should have a Intune object. All right, I think that name will change. There we go. And now we have mobile device management on our endpoint. That is in AD. Again, once I get the intra-sync going, intra-connect sync, it'll be very specific. There's a cloud sync and connect sync. I think that's intra. Let me fact check. Fact checked, not fat check. Intra connect. Yes, there's a cloud sync and then there is a connect sync. This is what we're using. So this will do both objects and this will do user. And again, just point out differences. So with Intra, it wouldn't have loaded to the Windows screen like we saw. It would just have been all seamless. So keep that in mind. And there we have it. We can now connect to domain resources. Let's do that. Can I connect my DC? I should see some shares on there. I can see my net log on, sysvol, profiles I have set up for Citrix. We're doing pretty good. All right, any additional logs that I can look at? Refresh. I think that's it. Yep, not giving me anything else. Anything up here? Where was the other one? Refresh. Nope. But anyhow, kind of watch it through the basics. You don't need the intra connect piece. You could just enroll it. Whatever account you got in here that has a Intune license or license to do autopilot, and then you can log in with a domain account. But we're going to get to where we have all the correct pieces with a interconnect server, and then we'll have a Intune cert connector for SCEP. That way we can do some cool stuff with Intra and networking and all that stuff. Anyhow, hope you learned something.